Hello, welcome to another episode of the Horror Vision Presents Slasher Party. I'm Sean
I'm Missy.
and Jessica. Welcome.
Yes.
So,
Yes. I'm Jessica Lacey. I've been here a million times pretending my name is Ivy Tholen. It's not. I'm Jessica. Let's go.
I'll just say for the listeners, the funny thing is we often record episodes out of order. And so the three of us recorded a slasher party on Hatchets 3 and 4 like a month ago. And the whole first part of that episode is Jessica telling the story, but then we held it back because she had previously promised to reveal it on the Dread broadcast, which
Yeah.
you should all go check out.
Yes, Sean and I had fun.
We're recording this on the 2nd of
Mhm.
July. That's going to come out on the 7th of July. So it's like, it's just weird. So the origin story comes out later. So basically, whatever. Anyway, so Jessica, good to have you. We got pre-orders up for Taste Like, what I'm calling Taste Like Candy Redo or Redux.
It tastes like candy, Jessica's version. And yes, anyone listening, it is a Taylor Swift joke. That's what I've been calling it because her re-recordings were Taylor's, they were like Red Taylor's version. So yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So I've been
That's
joking it's tastes like candy Jessica's version. And yes, it is available for pre-order now wherever books can be pre-ordered.
it. Or you can go to your local
Yeah.
library. Yes, they have those.
Yes.
And you can ask the librarian. They're probably very nice. Even if you think like that person's scary as hell, they're probably not. I mean, unless they have like severed heads like on their, or like that
I,
librarian in the Weird Al movie, Conan the librarian that splits the kid in half with the sword for bringing the book back late. Like maybe don't go up to him, but
but in
otherwise just
general,
in
librarians are very
general,
cool people. Have you ever seen the
very cool
movie
people.
Party Girl?
No.
Okay, it's Parker Posey. It's set in the 90s. She plays a club kid who becomes a librarian. It is a fantastic movie. I believe it is on Tubi or it was recently. Very, very fun movie. Very stupid, goofy movie. Um, but she becomes a librarian, and I was in high school whenever I watched this movie and became like super obsessed with it. And for a very brief amount of time, wanted to become a librarian, but it requires a lot of school, and I
It
wasn't
does.
interested in that. So
Yeah, it does. And
here we
and
are.
also in the new regime, libraries and librarians are likely to be
Yeah,
burned. So
yeah.
you go to school for all that and then somebody
Right?
kills you.
Oh my
So
goodness.
speaking of murder, holy fuck, Hell Motel, Episode 4,
The devil in the details.
Devil in the Details. So all I'm gonna say, despite their best efforts to make everybody look guilty in this fucking episode, and they tried, I am
Hmm.
doubling down on Blake. I'll tell you later. So,
I feel the same way about Andy. And again, I have a list.
okay, so
And wait,
Jessica,
wait, wait, wait. I have entered the ring with a theory and I'm not happy
nice.
Okay.
about
Hell
it.
yeah.
And I feel like I can debunk yours, Sean.
What's your theory,
What's the name of the slut?
Adriana?
Adriana.
If he were the killer, her ass would be dead because the way that he reacted to her in one scene, he
Hmm.
he reacted like he was physically repulsed by her, but in a very specific way
The
that
photo, right?
I think so. I can't remember.
Yeah, she tries to
I just
take
remember his
pictures.
reaction and I went, oh, wait a minute.
He he
She
he
doesn't end up
he's
dead.
he's playing a role for their benefit, for his image, 100%.
I don't think so, but
I think so.
I
we'll
think it's
see.
the Scream Queen, and I'm going to be really disappointed if it is.
So I will tell you, the first time I watched this episode, I was like, they are really laying it on thick with Paige this episode.
I've been expecting him to do it. I've been waiting since the beginning because she's so
Hmm.
sweet and innocent. I've been waiting. So now it's happening. And I'm like, well, maybe they were, trying to pretend. I really feel like I was like, well, so that would be the obvious thing. But then they weren't really doing that. But now it seems like they might be. So I don't know. I kind of, I'm still hoping it's Andy, I think is what I'm going with. But I think that I hope they're better than making it Paige. I don't know.
Missy, what do you think about that? What do you think about Andy?
I still think Andy's one of them. There may be, after this episode, there may be more than one. Like, I mean, we know Floyd and uh,
Surely.
Shirley are both Baphomets, and there's at least a third one running around. But there may be a fourth one because there's a point where when we see when Adriana is looking out the window and we see the Baphomet outside, that's but we see everybody for the most because we see Hawaiian and Andy are outside
Yes.
and they're fighting this Baphomet, and then they come in and they're telling everybody, um, don't meet in the lobby, don't meet in the lobby, but we see everybody. I was looking.
Yeah.
And they're all present, and nobody looked wet. And
Well, no, but that Baphomet is Floyd. He comes in and takes his robe off. You see him take his robe off and he puts it in the ceiling.
I thought we were doing this. I thought she was talking about the scene with the two Baphomets, but yeah.
I saw him hide the mask. I didn't realize that he took off a raincoat.
So it was they shot it really weird. I had to back it up 3 or 4 times the first time I watched it because I'm like, wait, is he?
I did too, because I was trying to see if he was wet and stashing it or if he was just stashing it because
they're going through the hall calling people out, right? But
right.
No, he steps out of it, but they shoot it so you barely see that happen. But it does.
I watched it a few times too. I did back it up, and I still couldn't tell.
Yeah, it's him, and so
he is that one.
This is why I'm doubling down
on
Blake.
But there also could be. I know why you're doubling down because it crossed my mind.
You don't trust me.
Really? Because there is a point. All right, Hawaiian gets killed by Shirley and Floyd. We see that. And then at the very end of the episode, Andy comes in and discovers him or whatever. But there is a Baphomet in the middle that comes in and turns him into murder art.
Yes.
And Blake was gone for a long time. Like, he calls it out when he comes back.
Adriana comes to his room. Can I stay here? And right away, he's like, I'll go get crackers. And then he picks up his knife and leaves. And then all that shit happens. And then right after that Baphomet goes into the room and draws the blood inverted cross with the blood on his head, the next scene is Blake returning with the crackers and the cards. Like, okay, anyway, blah, blah, blah. So that's not why.
It's set up that, okay.
I think that was the same level of red herring or like misdirection that they used with Paige. They used with so many people, that even Kawaiian.
All right. Originally, Andy was like cozying up with Crow.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's doing it with the actress. I mean,
he was before.
Okay, I didn't pick up on it. Previously, I thought he was gay.
No, I thought he was.
I thought he was gay and trying to hook up with Crow.
First episode, they've had a couple points of contact, but the one that sticks out in my head, he's the very first person to approach her and start talking to her when she's like standing in that room and like they have like a heart to heart. She's like, I can't get rid of her. No matter what role, it's always going to be that role. Anyway, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I remember him being real kind of flirty in the bar with Crow, so I thought he was gay, and then he was like doing it with her, and it just feels like he's trying to warm up to people and seem non-threatening when he's probably the most brutal one, so he can pick them off. So I mean, I kind of got the feeling that he was playing him, and then Floyd they're gonna put Crow in the walk-in because he's died. They think he's dead. He's not dead yet, but and Andy was gonna right away. He's like, "Oh, I'll do it," and then Kawaiian steps in and says no. But I think Andy was gonna try and kill Floyd in the freezer.
Interesting.
And we were talking last week that we weren't sure what the point of the nails were. And there's a point where Paige calls out, "Oh, these deaths are so poetic."
Yeah.
And Andy's like, "Oh, you think the nails are because he was a mentalist?" Like, and like, we're all diehard horror fans. We didn't get the reference of, the meaning of the behind the nails. And I feel like that's not something a lot of people are going to come to right away, but he knew. Like, why did he know? Because I still think he's the one who put the nails in Crow's head to begin with.
Wait, but what did he know? What do you say? Like, what was the reason? Because the mentalist thing just I'm like, when they said that, I'm like, that sounds like it's not the same thing. Like, she says, Portia's heart and it's
Heart
ripped
got
out.
ripped out. Right. After being accused of not having one, the cook got cooked.
Hemingway got cooked. And then what? Because he's a mentalist? I'm like, that's not an equal metaphor. It's just not. Like,
Okay.
that doesn't make any sense. He also says, or somebody says, like, well, they had to be very strong. Actually, I think it maybe might be Blake that says that, but that makes no sense either. It's not that they had to be strong. They knew where to put, what was it, 10 nails in his fucking skull and not kill him? I mean, that's, I don't know, is that luck or is that like skill? But there's nobody that's
Hmm?
like medically trained as far as we know. So I don't know what that
Right.
means, but
Okay.
I really just thought it was random. I really did. I thought it was just nailing in somebody's head to do it. Like I didn't think there was anything bigger behind it.
it might be. But the other deaths
Are very poetic. That's why I thought that the nails had to mean something.
Mm.
I think maybe we missed something. I wonder if there's something in the episode, the third episode with the cop or something, or with that Renee guy, maybe that we missed, or with the spirit that Crow talks to. It's interesting that Floyd is like, now you can talk to the dead phony. And it's like, no, he actually was talking to the dead Floyd.
Yeah. All right. So what's your theory on Blake? You said you're double down.
Doubled down. And it was not easy
Why?
because Paige, the first time I watched this, I'm like, dude, I think, wow, okay, I got to make, am I going to change my bet? You know, I'm like, wow. But, okay, who killed Hemingway? Okay, let's put it this way. Let's call Floyd and Shirley Baphomet A, okay? And then the unknown is Baphomet B. So which
Okay.
one killed Hemingway?
I don't know.
B. Because Hemingway's death is the first
Oh,
time.
that's right, because he was the first one, and
Yeah, and Floyd
they
and
asked
Shirley
each
are like,
other,
"Did you do it? Did you do it?"
"Did you
No.
do
Oh,
it?"
okay.
Yeah, that was episode 2.
Okay,
Okay, so Baphomet B, the unknown,
right. Who killed
cooked the
Portia?
cook. Well, they didn't, so it was also Baphomet B.
Right. Ruby doesn't count because she was a product. Her death was a product of panic, right? So the incident outside in this episode and the resulting freak out in the hallway. That's the first fucking time Baphomet B, whoever they are, realizes there's another fucking Baphomet. That's why Blake goes fucking nuts and loses his shit because he's just realized there's another person dressed as Baphomet killing people. So Baphomet B did not have any clue that it's hard because we know as the viewers we've seen this the whole time that Shirley and Floyd are killers, right? But
Right,
that other
but they're
Baphomet
not
does not
killing
know that.
everybody.
Right. Well, no, that other Baphomet had no fucking clue until this episode and that thing outside, that altercation outside. So that's when Blake finds out, like, wait a minute, what? And so he goes fucking nuts, goes demanding. And then, Floyd corners him. He's like, I can't go through this again. Pulling the victim shit. It's all a fucking act. It's all oh my God, I guarantee
See,
it.
I felt like it was genuine.
I don't think so.
I assumed it was genuine, but that's compelling. I'm trying. I haven't.
It
I mean,
is.
think about it, and it's so. It took me the second view. I had to stop it, right? And Kirsten's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, wait a minute, follow my logic here." I'm like, if you think about the perspective of the other of Baphomet B, this is the moment where they're like, "Wait a minute, there's another fucking person running around in a Baphomet mask, killing people or attacking people." That would completely fuck them up. They have no idea. Like, think about it. You're Baphomet B. You've spent a couple days leisurely killing off these fucking people, and then all of a sudden there's another one. Like, I mean, he is so everybody's panicked. He is beyond panic. And then when Adriana comes to his room, he's kind of like sitting there stewing, and then immediately is like, he tries to kind of repel her with his like, I'm not in the mood for any sex or whatever. And then as soon as he realizes he's not getting rid of her, he's like, okay, well, I'll go get crackers and cards. Um, I don't know. I'm doubling down.
It's a good theory. I mean, I don't know. I still think he's genuine. I kind of hope he'll end up being like the final boy.
We
I'm
did,
rooting for him right now.
Could
we
happen.
did get a glimpse at what happened to him, though. Did you hear it? He mentioned his frat.
Yeah, he did. His
Dude,
frat.
I want his backstory more than I want anybody else's backstory.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
But they're going to withhold it for a while.
It's
Maybe,
probably going to be like the last one we get.
maybe. Okay, so Jessica, who do you think will die in the next episode?
I don't know. I did know Kawaiian was going to die in this episode because there's no way he was the killer. They weren't even trying. They were barely doing anything with him. So I knew he
Hmm.
was the next piece of meat. Um, I'm very nervous for Floyd. I like Floyd. I don't think he's going to last long.
That's
I
interesting.
think I think
Huh.
Baphomet B is going to take down one of the couple, and I think it'll probably be Floyd.
I think that could be the kind of shift in the landscape that could happen. Missy, what do you think? Who do you think might be next episode's big kill?
See, I kind of wasn't thinking a whole lot about the actress Paige. She seemed overly nice, and they haven't done a lot with her either. I felt like she was going to be the next kill. Like she just felt like fodder to me. She didn't stand out,
Oh,
Hmm.
and
she's
that's
felt
kind of
from
what
the
they.
beginning. It's felt like she was going to make it to the end, no matter
Yeah,
what.
I kind of get that vibe too. Whether or not she's the killer or she might
Mm,
just be the final.
You know what? Either Andy or Blake is probably also going to go pretty soon.
I don't think Blake. So I think it could in next episode. I think it's either Floyd or it's Adriana.
I could see Adriana as well. Adriana also sort of feels like they're gearing her up to be a final girl, but in like a fake out kind of way.
Yeah, I don't think she'd be a final girl.
No,
she
but it
couldn't.
feels
Yeah,
like they're starting to give her that arc, and then they're going to kill her, and like, but it feels like a fake out.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. God,
I
this
agree
show
with
is
that.
so fun. It is so
It
fucking fun to
is.
watch this show. Oh my God. Oh my God.
It is.
Oh.
And I'm so glad you found it because I'm one episode away from finishing Slasher Flesh and Blood, the fourth season, and it's also like it's just a blast.
Yeah, it really is.
Maybe the first season was just weak since we all tried it and it
Very
didn't stick.
possible.
I'm gonna try. I'm looking forward to trying it again.
Yeah,
Because
I'm gonna try it again now.
I didn't think what I saw was that weak. I don't know. I can't explain it. I
It
mean,
just
I
didn't
know
stick.
it didn't stick, but that does sometimes it happens, you know?
But this is fun. And
Yes.
it's well done that it's got all three of us like guessing and coming up with theories, but none of them seem like, oh yeah, that's for sure.
Right.
Like,
Well, I don't know. I'm being a little bit of a of a prick because I'm so fucking certain.
oh you
I'm
well,
so
But it's
certain.
not so obvious that two other experts aren't like, uh-huh, yeah,
Right,
clearly.
right,
right. We're not
right,
all watching it going, oh yeah, it's definitely that person.
Yeah.
right.
Like, and they're making us question all of the characters, so they're doing it right.
And I was thinking about this because that whole thing with him leaving to get the cards and the crackers and then coming back, right after the Kawaiian's murder, like it's the same kind of red herring they're doing with other like with Kawaiian, right? Or other characters. So I really like that they're like outmaneuvering their maneuvers or it's so fascinating. I'm really enjoying this. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
how about anybody else pick up the Super Hannibal series vibe of Kawaiian's final
Yeah,
death tableau, right? I was like, oh my God.
I thought it was gorgeous.
I
Yeah.
did too.
Like
I thought it was
that's art.
fucking awesome. I've been, I mean, he seemed all right, but I've been waiting for him to become murder art.
Yeah, yeah, right,
I was pretty
exactly.
excited about it.
There was no way they weren't going to do that.
And I like the way they did it too. Like I
Yeah,
really
it
like that
looked good.
I like that he like he's like working and then Floyd comes in, he's like, oh no, I'm in trouble, and like almost immediately punches him in the fucking face. Like he would have taken also, holy shit, like the scene where he's like he like takes his shirt off, where he's explaining to Shirley the blood. I was like, dude, that dude is like ripped.
Yes.
You would never know. Um,
People were posting photos of him in the subreddit. I was like, Jesus Christ. But there's a whole huge post of shirtless photos of this dude.
oh my
People
God.
were very, very pleased with him taking his shirt off.
I
That whole
just thought it
scene
was
gave me the creeps, so
well, and like he takes her hand and like lays it on his like chest.
All right, and then
Oh.
talking about mixing his blood in the paint, and then he cuts her to like it's a weird scene.
it's a
It's a
very
weird.
weird scene. It creeped me out big time.
Yeah, it well, Shirley's super creepy too. She's super fucking creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys think about her and Floyd's backstory in this one?
I thought that was really cool that like we're seeing that she definitely is the brains of everything.
Yeah.
It seemed, I made a note about this. It seemed like she was a full-on true believer, but that he was, into it, but really it was more of like an aesthetic for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree
Absolutely.
with that. And she's still a true believer.
Yep. And true believers can get dangerous really, really quickly, even
Yep.
to people that they love.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Oh,
really think whoever suggested that she's going to flip on him or she's working with somebody. I don't know that she's working with somebody, but she's going. I think she's.
That was my theory last week, and as juicy as I thought that theory was, I'm pretty sure she's not working with whoever the other Baphomet is. But that's not to say if Floyd
that she
dies next
won't if she can
episode,
figure it out.
exactly like
Because she was trying to, because that was her thought. Let's talk to Kawaiian and get him to ally with us if he
yes,
confesses to, you know. If it turned out that he had been, I think she would have turned on Floyd to go with him.
yeah, well, she seemed like she definitely wanted to bone Kawaiian. Like, I mean, but who can
Yeah.
resist, that shirtless wonder? Oh my God. And even he was very like self-aware of that, where he's like, oh, the ultimate bad boy. That'd really turn you on, wouldn't it? It's like, okay, buddy. So he was so like perplexed when she stabbed him because he's like, oh, I thought we were gonna fuck. Oh, okay, sorry. And and Missy, now that you're watching Flesh and Blood, there's a visceral element to these to what Martin and Carpenter do, and Adam McDonald, who's directing all these, they're like first she's like sawing through his abdomen, right? Hits the
Hmm.
bone, and then like Floyd takes over. I'm like it literally looks like you're fucking this man with a knife in the abdomen, like
Hmm.
like the way they shot it. I was like, oh my God, this is so bizarre, and just the sounds.
But all the sounds too, yeah, like you can hear the bone sawing and you know, last episode when they pulled Portia's heart out and it was squishy.
Yep.
Like they pay the sound is real good in these.
Yeah, really good.
Because usually if you're gonna get me with something like something gross out kind of thing, it's gonna be because of the sound.
Yeah, agreed.
And the gore in both this and Flesh and Blood is next level and I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
I have a note in here about Blake freaking out.
What does your note say?
It was
What's up?
just that he's yeah, my the way that I read it was the same as Missy. It was I wrote frat bro gets pissed and demands shoes. Everybody's shoes. He's slipping. So he's definitely unhinged. Definitely.
Hmm. I more noticed how he reacted to Adriana twice with like just absolute disgust.
Right. Well, her
Once with the
taking the
picture,
pictures. Yeah.
and then when she comes back, like I had the thought too that if he was the killer, he'd have killed her ass by now. She'd have been at the top of his list.
Maybe. Maybe.
But he
Uh,
seems like he goes along with shit when he's scared. And now he's kind of trying to fight back. That's why I really just don't think it's him, but
that's
we'll
that's
see.
that's fair. That's logical.
Because
Eh,
I mean, he couldn't he's played along twice with bad shit because he just kind of panicked and didn't know what to do. Once
right.
when she jumps his bones, and then with he gets caught up in the frenzy with Ruby and has been fucked up about it since. I think he's got massive PTSD. Like he survived
No,
this
he would. Right. That's a good that's true. That he must, unless he was the killer at the frat. I
unless he
want
was the killer, but
I want that
my
backstory.
I really don't think it's him. I'm really all in on Andy.
That's cool. That's cool.
And Blake is like the one person I like.
D- Did anybody else like? There's like the moment where I forget what it goes from, but then they're all sitting in booths eating, and like Kirsten's like, "Wait a minute, I thought they couldn't leave," and I was like, "Oh wait, no, there's a
It's in the
cafe or something
motel.
in." Yeah,
Yeah.
it's in there, but like for a split second, it felt like a cut in like an edit in any other show where it would have been like from point A to point B, and I was like, "Wait, what?" And then I was like, "Oh wait, no, yeah, that's right. It's a bed and breakfast, so there would be this kind of thing in there."
I noticed it too. You didn't imagine it.
Okay. And it's more like just programming from watching
Mm-hmm.
stuff, you know. It
I
wasn't
kind of
anything
noticed
they
it, but
did.
We haven't really seen that area, so it was like, whoa, what's this?
mm-hmm.
Exactly. So, and then in there, the whole conversation, I just have to say, I don't understand the people that want to leave. Like, I agree, even though Floyd is saying it because he wants to keep them there to kill them, where he's like, yeah, it's like a 15-hour. Why don't we just wait like 6 hours until sunup? And then it makes way more sense. As opposed to leaving and undergoing this like dangerous hike, right? And like the answer from Kawaiian, and I feel like maybe I forget, maybe also Blake or somebody is like, no, we'll have strength in numbers, we'll be able to see everything. And I'm just thinking to
Mm-hmm.
myself, just all stay in the same room.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't have to leave the fucking hotel for that to happen. Like just stay in the same room and you'll be able to keep tabs on everybody. I'm not the fact that they're all going to separate rooms is just like it's just enabling the killer
Yeah.
Right.
to it.
They need
I
to
don't
be
know
slumber party massacre style, sitting back to back in a circle with knives.
Right.
exactly.
Not doing murder art by themselves upstairs.
Yeah, or like him, he's like, oh, I'm getting out of here, but first I'm going to finish my art. It's like, okay, and he's like, I don't want to spend, it's stupid to stay here with this killer. We're trapped, but I'm going to finish my art,
I'm
and
gonna finish my murder art.
before it becomes a crime scene, and who knows what happens to it. Yeah, it's nobody's ever going to see your art. It's going to be a fucking crime scene. Like the two that would have paid you to put it on display are dead. So it's just that was weird. I didn't understand that. Oh man, that's so much fun.
It is.
What else you guys got? Anything else?
Question. So Kawaiian survived and then somebody else came along and finished him off.
Hmm.
Yes.
They're collecting, does it matter who kills these people or do they still get to keep the body count?
I think it does matter because it's the same thing with Crow. Crow is not dead. Baphomet B is the one who put the nails in his head, but Floyd finishes him off in the freezer.
Mm-hmm.
He chokes him out and breaks the bones in his neck.
But that's their only kill so
That's
far.
their yeah, because he goes upstairs and tells Shirley, that he delivered him. So I think it matters who like finishes it off.
Okay, I'm cooking a theory.
Okay.
If that is the case, what I said about Shirley being a true believer, I think she would sacrifice Floyd to get her number.
Oh, easily.
Oh yeah, for sure.
She's
I
going to
think she would
have
too.
to. She's going to realize I don't have enough people, so I have to align myself with the person who's killed the number
Mm-hmm.
that I need, and it ain't fucking Floyd.
Yeah. So then she'll kill Floyd, maybe even to buy her way in with the other partner.
Yeah, that's going to happen. I guarantee that's great, Jessica. That's absolutely going to happen.
Yeah, I think so too.
And it
That
better
stuck
not be their neighbor's cat. Sorry.
out.
Yeah, I was very upset about this cat. Jesus Christ. Like the fucking thing in Smile. I'm always upset about the cat. But yeah, so Floyd stole the crow kill from Baphomet B, but Baphomet B stole the kill from Shirley and Floyd with Hawaiian because he was not dead. It's when the Baphomet in the middle that comes in with the mask
Yeah.
is the one who kills him and does the murder art, and then we see Andy come in after. But I don't know if they were shooting it that way to fuck with you or what.
It's interesting because, okay, considering what you just said, Missy, and considering your theory, Jessica, it just dawned on me. So Shirley is not going to, or Shirley and Floyd are not going to know that that's not their kill
Yeah, they're
until
not gonna know.
Right.
until the spell doesn't work because they're one short. But then I'm thinking, but are they?
Well,
I don't even think there's any way they can get their number now.
but if they see the body now, Shirley and Floyd did not turn him into murderer. The second Baphomet did.
Right.
So when they see the body,
They're gonna know.
they're gonna know they didn't do that.
Or at the very least that they found the Baphomet B found the body.
That's the thing. Like that could, just because that was done to the body doesn't necessarily mean, that they're going to realize they didn't get the kill. But if they need 9 people, there's no fucking. She's got to already know. She's got to already know as the intelligent one. There's no way from this point forward, with this one kill, that they can get there because they need 9.
Or maybe I'm crazy and it doesn't matter. I don't know why.
No, it matters. I'm pretty sure they've explained it matters.
I'm pretty sure it
yeah.
matters.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, I know they explained it matters. So, which just makes me think again, she must be able to see that. So that makes me think again, maybe she is aligned with the other one. But I that just feels wrong to me at this point. But then why wouldn't she be like fatalistic about it? I mean, I would think being the smart one, she'd be able to count the number of people and be like, well, we've got 1 kill, they've got the other. So she either, if she's not in league, which I don't think she is, she's planning the double cross already. She has to be.
Probably.
Something has switched in her interactions with him over the last episode and a half.
Yeah.
She's made some decisions.
That's interesting. And that could be why they decided to focus on their backstory this episode.
Is she treating him that different though? I didn't really pick up on it.
It's very subtle. It's very, very subtle, but she seems less like early it seemed like they were, equals, team player, and then we found out they were killers. Okay. It kind of still felt that way. It's starting to feel like he's a dog and she's a master.
Okay. I can see that.
He keeps making like intimate overtures at her, and she's constantly pushing him away, or like, oh, I have to go this, So,
yeah, good observation. So I guess we'll see where it goes next week.
Yeah, and also I just want to bring up the idea, my like mentioning last episode, I really am hoping that we actually get a real Baphomet. I definitely feel like that's coming.
I think so. Like it feels like they're leaning into the occult and not in a cheaty way, so I'm hoping that they go all in with it. It's
not just the finale, like at the very end, and we just see it and that's the end. But if it happens, we get something out of it.
Yes. So hopefully we will get something. Oh man, my mind is just on fire with possibilities here. Oh, who would have known? Who would have thought that like the show called Hell Motel would just be like one of my favorite things this year? I'm just enjoying this so much.
I don't like the name. I keep swapping it for Motel Hell, which is something completely different.
I keep saying Motel Hell.
Yeah.
Which, right, for anybody, horror fans, probably everybody keeps doing it, and they're very different things, but...
Yeah, but I mean, they're aware. When they named it that, they were aware of it, right? It's like a play on words or whatever, but it doesn't matter. It's great.
Awesome, and we love it.
Yeah.
I'm just glad they didn't call it slasher, because I just don't think I would have watched it, but I really like it, and I will probably at some point check out the other seasons.
Yeah, that's definitely.
But to me, it will always be Canadian Horror Story.
It is now that in my mind too, but
But it's not necessarily a bad thing. Number one, and I don't know.
Oh no, that's not an insult. Once again,
No, I know, I know.
love Canada.
Yeah, no, I know, but what it's not that it's an insult, but it implies not because of Canada, but because you're using the same name, it implies that it's derivative or whatever. It's super peachy keen, and I'm really fond of it, and I can't wait to see some motherfucker get totally just I don't know what's next. I don't know.
We know how
So
many episodes it is.
it's what do we? It's 8, right? Was it 8 or 10?
it's 8. It's 8.
So we're halfway through.
We're
halfway through.
So
And if you go to IMDb, be very careful because there are descriptions for all the episodes.
So
yeah, I don't look at that stuff.
I don't even.
I
They
didn't get
do that
spoiled.
shit.
I didn't get spoiled, but they're there.
They do
Okay.
that
Yeah,
shit,
I
and
don't
it
look at that
drives me
stuff
nuts. They did that with Yellow Jackets, and there was like some.
And that's why I won't look at that stuff when something's in progress like this,
Right.
because you'll stumble on something you just didn't want to see.
Exactly.
I agree that I'm really glad they didn't call it slasher, because I might have steered away from it too. And now I want to dig into all of that. So they certainly, it worked. They hooked me.
Yeah.
I'm all in.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and we're all in, and we'll be back for next week's episode 5, which I'm not going to tell you the title of right now because I'm not going to look at IMDb because I don't want any spoilers. So,
Right.
This is the Horror Vision Slasher Party. I'm Sean.
I'm Missy.
And Jessica, thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you back here next week for part 5.
Yes, thank you.
Hapless teenagers beset by demons in the woods. A strange new drug that turns art into murder. A can't beat a deal on a new house with a horrifying past. A video game that might usher in the apocalypse. From the demented mind of Sean C. Baker, author of a collection of desires, Shadow Play, and Murder Virus, comes Volume 4, collecting Baker's no sleep work along with several never-before-published short stories. This 99-cent volume also includes the opening chapter of the author's forthcoming teenage giallo novel, Black Gloves and Broken Hearts, due out later this year.